Throp here again. As you're probably hearing, Jamaica is on an unprecedented economical tear, and I know many people are interested to learn how they might be able to buy property in Jamaica, move here, or even start a business. Enter Throp-X. This is my annual Jamaica investment conference hosted at Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. If you're even considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the best low-risk opportunity to do your due diligence and network with the very people driving the country forward. This event brings together a group of hand-picked, trusted, top-of-their-field individuals, the best developers, contractors, real estate pros, lenders, and government partners, all under one roof to help you make your move. This is very much an action-focused premium conference experience geared towards empowering you with the tools and team necessary to create your Jamaica dream. We've partnered with the Tax Administration of Jamaica to help you get your TRN and even open a bank account, all conveniently located on conference property. One of the most popular parts of the conference is the real estate tour. It's the best way to understand Jamaica's real estate market, seeing and experiencing properties firsthand so you can compare apples to apples. Another incredibly valuable part of the conference is the people you will meet. Attendees have been some of the most dynamic, inspiring individuals I have met doing incredible things with their lives. As always, this year will be fun, educational, and actionable, giving you the tools, insights, and connections to invest, build, and move to Jamaica. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list. Hey there, Throp here. I wanted to interrupt just for a minute to tell you about my family's hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. We are a 60-room Jamaican-owned and operated hotel located on the world-famous 7-mile white sand beach of Negril, Jamaica. My father started this property back in '94, and myself and my brothers Winfield and Wingate took over in 2011 after my father retired. Recently, we've made some upgrades to the property, particularly to our rooms. They've been redesigned and reimagined with comfort and style at the forefront. The textures, the light, the layout, each space was designed with intention, balancing modern touches with the familiar spirit of travelers. Our deluxe rooms and suites, which you are seeing on your screen now, have gone through an incredible transformation. We now have 2-bedroom suites available for your accommodations next time you're in Negril. We're especially proud of our gym. It's designed to give you a high-quality workout experience with premium equipment, plenty of space, and an energizing atmosphere. Our lounge has become one of the more popular public spaces, perfect for a family game night or catching the big game. Of course, our restaurant and bar is located right on the beach, so you can enjoy the most beautiful sunsets in the world. We look forward to welcoming you home. For more information, please visit www.tbr.travel.
Welcome home.
This podcast is supported by Discovery Water. Whether I'm working or training, I reach for Discovery Water. 100% premium Jamaican spring water. Bottled in glass, no plastic, no gimmicks. Refill, not landfill. Just clean, natural hydration from right here on the island. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to our normal end of the week. Usually Throp-X live stream, but we are switching it up today, and we'll be talking a little bit about Throp-X, but for sure we're going to be mostly talking about Tropical Storm Melissa, as it is named today, and it will eventually become, all indicators showing that it will become Hurricane Melissa in the near future, in the next few days. So I figured I'd use this as an opportunity to talk a little bit about it and let you know what's going on here, what I plan to do with this channel as far as the content that we have scheduled coming out, and also the live, especially the live stream that we have supposed to come up on Sunday. Also, we are, right in the middle of Throp-X prep. And I was saying too, like, preparation for Throp-X has been going so exceptionally well. I was just like, it can't be this smooth, And then, bada bing, bada boom, we got a hurricane that's coming, and it's just funny how life works, where things are just going this way, going so smoothly, making moves, ticket sales are going exceptionally well, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we got a hurricane to deal with. which we certainly will. I was in also, I wanted to use this stream to talk about the Heroes Day on Monday, which I was in Kingston for over the weekend, which is beautiful. There's so many great, amazing Jamaicans that were honored and recognized on Monday, which I talked a little bit about on Sunday, the event that I was going to at King's House. But we'll probably get to that a little bit later. I do want to get into what's going on here, give you all a boots on the ground update with what's happening in the grill, and also specifically what's happening here at Travelers. But as usual, let me know where you're chiming in, what city, what state, what country. I know there's probably maybe some new people who are coming in, particularly on the replay. We're streaming from Negril, Jamaica, and I think it's also like this will be good for like the future when people are looking back at the Grail and looking back at Jamaica and trying to get a sense of like what our mindsets were, what we did to prepare, because most people are going to watch this in the future and probably going to watch it after Hurricane Melissa, and they're going to want to know like what we did right in preparation, what we did wrong, like, and also live, like what we're feeling in the moment. So I want to use the opportunity to capture that. I'm definitely going to be live streaming tomorrow during the day, and same reasons, get a sense of for historical purposes, because I always think like people are going to watch this 100 years from now, when we're all long gone, and they're going to want perhaps some semblance of an understanding of what happened while we were going through this period in preparation, and also what was happening in the moment. And so in the moment, like right now, like in terms of the preparation, like I said before, like my mindset was preparing for Throp-X, which is in 3 weeks from now. And now even today, my whole entire day has been shifted. My agenda has been shifted to preparing for the impending hurricane that is coming this way. And I kind of also we'll go through a little bit of the spaghetti charts that I was seeing, which I've never seen spaghetti charts like this before, what we're doing here, Travelers, to prepare. And also just, again, how the agenda has shifted. Also want to mention before we get into it is that I am still doing my New York City event next Saturday. So if you're not aware, I'm doing a meetup next Saturday that is being sponsored by VM, otherwise known as Victoria Mutual Building Society. And that's going to be next Saturday in Manhattan at 12 o'clock. We're going to be doing a brunch, and it's fully supported, fully sponsored by VM. So if you're around in New York City, tri-state area, would love to have you come by, would love to meet you, would love to say hello, take some pictures, and have some discussions. I'm also going to be partnering with development. So haven't confirmed all the developments. The two developments that I have confirmed are Vista Bella here in the Grill, and then also Treasure Bay Estates in Treasure Beach on the south coast of Jamaica. So both of them have agreed to participate in this. And so if you want more information or want information in general about investing in Jamaica, particularly in those developments, I'm trying to get one more to come on board, but this was kind of, I wouldn't say, I guess in a way, last minute, like trying to put all this together in the last couple of weeks. So that is still on. So if you are available, you're free. Next Saturday, November 1st in New York City in Manhattan, we'll be doing a brunch meetup, and would love to meet as many of you as possible. If you're interested, sign up in the description below. Just basic name, email address, and I think we're having like where you're coming from. That's about it. We're going to connect in next week. So yeah, shout outs to VM. They are our Throp-X Platinum sponsor, banking sponsor this year. And then also Treasure Bay Estates. They're our other Platinum sponsor. They are a real estate development sponsor. And so looking forward to next week and next Saturday. And I'll bring that up again, for people who come in the middle. So we can get as many people there as possible, and I can meet as many of you as possible. So let's get into the prep here. Let me go to the comments real quick, and then we'll get into the prep. Mr. Fo, what's going on? Buffalo Soldier, how you doing? Donna, good evening, Throp and Throppers from Ottawa, watching all reports on Melissa. Trust me too. Jay Fitz, hi, Throp and family, checking in from Atlanta. Good to see Jay Fitz, Atlanta in the building. Yes, I jinxed it. It was going so well. You're right, Donna. Jill's chiming in from Durham, North Carolina. Nice to have you, Tisha. chiming in from Florida. It feels like not too long ago we did the same thing for Hurricane Beryl. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. And here we are again. I thought we were in the clear. It's so late in the hurricane season. Very, very rare that we get something like this in this time of the year. Interesting, interesting. KJ Martin, hope Negril is really preparing. The track does not look good. Let's hope it gets pulled northerly early. Yep, same here. Same here. Hoping for the same. Big up from Mark from Canada. How serious do you think the hurricane is going to be? How does the atmosphere feel? What's your gut feeling? And how much rain have you had so far in Jamaica? We're going to get to all that. Great questions. Great questions, Punty. Appreciate it. Michael Lawrence, hello, Throp and Throppers. Be safe. Chiming in from Atlanta. Nice to have you. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So let's bring up kind of where we are. I kind of just want to bring us all on the same page here. I'm just going to share my screen quickly. Where we Hurricane Melissa. All right, there we go. And let me change the background there so it's a little clearer for you guys. Okay, so a couple things I wanna bring up. Again, I'm trying to focus on the here and now, and then also the history of it, right? For the history, 100 years down the road, right? And so this is a spaghetti chart that like I thought is like I've never seen anything like this before, and it was like much worse before. Like seeing so many just very extremely divergent, like way off the map versions of where this thing could go. And so a couple things that we're facing here with the storm as I understand it. So right now it's a tropical storm. There are reports that it has died down, but that's not necessarily a good thing because it is going to pick up warm water. And the other thing is like it's moving incredibly slow. And that is really bad. And I'm going to go off of some historical experiences that we've had here at Travelers. And one of the worst storms that we have had experience in our past was actually a tropical storm. So tropical storm Nicole. And it was similar to this, and it was very slow moving. And it was just like rain and rain and rain, just consistently for days and days and days and days. And we lost our deck at Travelers. And as Punty was asking earlier about what the weather is like in Jamaica, the thumbnail that you're seeing on this video, like I took that an hour ago. Like beautiful sunset. I went for my run this morning along the beach, blue skies for the most part early this morning. Everything is fine. Like you'd be none the wiser. If you're just like putting your finger up in the wind, you have no idea the storm that's coming. I was going to use some more severe words, but let's say the storm that is coming in the next 48 hours, so to speak. So there is no physical indication, at least here in the West, here in the Grill, that something is a brewing. And going back to originally, like earlier this week, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a tropical storm. That's gonna suck. A lot of rain, and we'll just have to prepare accordingly. But as the days have moved on, obviously, it's going to be much worse than that, unfortunately. And again, going back to thinking to Tropical Storm Melissa, that was very bad for us and very bad for our property. And again, we lost our deck, and it was one of the worst impacts that we've had from severe weather situations. So I believe I can't remember the stats on terms of how quickly or slowly I should say Tropical Storm Nicole was moving, but this is going 1 to 2 miles per hour. I doubt it's going to be Nicole was slower than this. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt that. This has got to be like historically slow, and it being that slow, it's also giving it time to like literally heat up, and then gain momentum and become stronger. And like looking on our screen here now, I don't know these acronyms, but I'm going to try. Let me see if I can find a more clearer one. All right. So I'm trying to. Okay. So this is this is obviously looks really, really terrible. Um, this is kind of how it's tracking, right? That in terms of like the averages for the different models that we've been seeing. I think the only model that has it being brought out to kind of Katy going northeasterly quicker earlier is the American model, but a lot of people are throwing that out and going more along the lines of these lines, literally. The thing about this is like it's almost like a double whammy that we're getting. And the the outer bands, we're going to start feeling the rain that is tomorrow, from what I understand. We're going to start feeling that tomorrow into Saturday. And mind you, we've already been experiencing a lot of rain. If you've been paying attention to anything that's been happening in the news lately over the last couple months, Jamaica has been getting rain and has been having flooding situations, even here in Negril. Not as severe as some other parts of the country, like literally cars being washed away, sort of thing. So the ground is already well saturated. It's not like we're coming off of a dry season or something like that. So that is like my personal concern, I would say, is that we already have like high saturation, soil saturation, and then we're going to have rain days and days and days on end, right? So you got the outer bands that we're going to be feeling that already, right? And for days and days and days. And then the second punch is it's going to start heading north. And as you can see here, no matter where this thing goes, it doesn't matter. Like, no matter where this thing goes, we are going to feel the impact here in the grill severely. I'm also thinking about the people on the South Coast, especially the people in Treasure Beach. They took the brunt of Beryl last year. And I always say, like, the worst storms that we get, at least from my memory, don't take this as scientific fact, but from my memory, are the ones that come from the South. When I say we get Negril specifically. And again, they're so rare. They're so rare, but this is I don't know, 2 years in a row. It's kind of crazy. It really, really is kind of crazy that this is happening 2 years in a row. And this is the second punch, right? And this is obviously not good, even if it goes with the European yellow line here, let's call it. Yeah, it's far away from the grill. It's almost like directly in Treasure Beach. And we're gonna feel it. And then they have one obviously like pretty much going just west of Negril into the Caribbean Sea. Very, very close. And then they're talking about it strengthening to like a high category 5 storm, but I think that that's going to happen, at least as it's projected, after it kind of passes the north of Jamaica. And we're talking about, in terms of the timeline, from what I understand, Sunday night into Monday morning. Sunday night into Monday morning is when it's going to be in this area, kind of going past, hopefully past Jamaica and not through and over Jamaica. But that is what I'm understanding, that's when that's going to happen, and hopefully be completely past us by Tuesday. Again, this is all preliminary. There's like, as we saw the spaghetti model prior, never seen anything like that. Who knows what's going to happen, can happen. And the thing is like moving so slow. So it's not like every hour, like from hour to hour, there's like this dramatic change. There's not. It almost looks like it's in the same spot they're making these reports. Um, so we got the rain, big, big, big factor. We got the intensity of it. Even a category 1 is like really bad. It really, really, really is significant. Now to go to a category 4, God forbid, a 5 plus, this is what some people are saying, really, really bad. I would also say that if you're watching this in Jamaica, and not to scare people, like people, but like, I want to just kind of go through some precautions. We'll get back to the map in a second. Is like, I would definitely recommend, if you can get a flight and get out of here, I would do so. We have guests here who are staying. They're like, nope, we're not leaving, and that's fine. We're going to take care of you. You're going to be fine. You're going to be safe. Like, we're going to make you as safe as possible. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't do anything silly. Like, we have a proven track record here as travelers with going through this. We're well experienced. So many of our staff are well experienced. I'm well experienced. I've got to have done at least 5 hurricanes in my lifetime, like physically being here. And so we always take this very seriously, very, very, very seriously. And so if you are somebody, you know somebody who's here and they're thinking about leaving and they're not sure, I would say leave. I would say go. It's it's not really, and this is like kind of like the way I look at it, it's not really the danger of being here during the hurricane. Like I think and I'm confident that we'll be fine. It's the major inconveniences post hurricane because you have no idea what the situation is going to be. If we go back to Beryl last year, we saw that there were like literally trees down in the middle of the road that made it insurpassable. Like you couldn't pass it, and that was like it for days. I mean, I will commend the Jamaican government last year. I was so surprised at how many of the main thoroughfares were cleared very, very quickly, like within a day. But who knows what that's going to look like this storm. You everyone is different, and it's the post it's the post hurricane where you don't know what it's going to be. So it's like, you know, you're going to be uncomfortable. There's no guarantee. Yeah, we have a generator. We have tons of backup water here at Travelers. But who knows what the situation is going to be? It's hard to predict. And so we're not taking any more guests here at Travelers. We've actually blocked off all of our rooms, and I actually had a friend who called me and wants to stay here for the weekend. But like we're not doing it because like to us, it's like we take responsibility for everybody that's here, right? And every hotel does that up and down the strip, large, small, doesn't matter. And you have a responsibility for their safety, comfort, except everything above, right? And so I'm thinking that from the hotel perspective, like the less people that we have to worry about, even if it's just one less person to worry about, the better. You know, it's just like we're able to focus on the people who either got stuck here or, yeah, hopefully people are stuck here. But again, there's many people who are deciding just going to batten down the hatches and stay here, which I get, and that's fine. That's fine. We're going to take care of you, make sure you're okay. But again, if you have friends, you have family that's out there, that's here in Jamaica, and if they can get on a flight tomorrow, I would do it. I would do it. It just makes sense, you know. It just makes sense because we just don't know what the other side of this is going to look like, and we don't know how thin the government's resources are going to be because as we saw last year, the experience from one part of the island to the other is going to be different, and the government may have to pull or allocate a disproportionate amount of resources to one part of the country over the other. So whereas we may be uncomfortable here in the Grill, others may be like in dire need of assistance. So they may not get to us for a day or two, sort of thing. I have to think like this, you know, as you know, being a leader here in the community and having businesses here. This is the way like our minds are working here at Travelers, and I think it's better to be safe than sorry in these situations and to be over prepared and like nothing happens, right, or wasn't anywhere close to what we had expected or what we had prepared for, and I'm okay with that. And I think when scenarios of that sort arise, that is the best case scenario. But even from what we're seeing here on these charts, I the likelihood of us being like, oh, that was nothing. It's not looking like that. It's not looking like that. Um, unfortunately. Let's go through. I want to watch. Hold on. We're gonna come back to. We didn't. This guy. This guy's so good. I don't know if you follow him, Mr. Weatherman. Exceptional. Like I've been following this guy like crazy. Let's see. Who else do we want to go to? Yeah, this is like you're seeing the track here. This is like looking more and more likely. Like this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be hitting us pretty bad. Oh man, this is crazy. I mean, that you see this right here, that is like literally Negril, where this M is right here. Literally Negril. And like I said, we're taking it extremely, extremely seriously here at Travelers. The other thing that we're doing as well, like learning from Beryl last year, is like we've been limbing trees all day. I mean, severe haircuts. if you watched my live stream with Beryl last year, the sea grape tree that we have in the restaurant on the deck, like it was just swaying so much because the wind was like picking up the leaves and the branches, and to the point where like it fell off. So like we're just chopping it down, like not chopping it down. We're just like basically giving like it a crazy haircut. We have a bunch of almond trees doing the same thing because we're also thinking of safety. I just remember this story, like really, really sad story last year where this wife and mother was in the middle of Beryl and she went to try to fix the Wi-Fi outside and a tree fell on her. And that's one of the most dangerous parts about this storm is falling branches and falling trees. And it's not worth it. You know, we're trying to, again, going off of experience last year with Beryl, we had some guests here that I would say like, hey, just stay. Thank God nothing happened. What we like when we were going through the worst of it, is just like stay in the lobby. Don't like just shelter in place, shelter in place. And of course, there are some people that just don't listen, right? And they just do their thing. They got everything was fine. But it's just like one of those things is like, man, take this seriously. This is gonna be a long haul. Like this is not gonna be Beryl. Beryl was like quick. It was so quick. I mean, I was able to like I live stream the the height of it, right? That's how quickly it went by. But this is not going to be that quick. This is going to be, I mean, it's like literally going to take days to get here and go through Jamaica, you know? I mean, thank goodness, like when it does start going north, from what I understand, I'm no weather expert here, it is going to start moving a little bit quicker, but it's also going to be almost at its strongest at that point. And, you know, and so I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what that's going to feel like. I remember last year with Beryl, the wind, I've never felt that before. I've never heard that wind like I'm talking about. That thing was howling, howling. Again, if you've seen it, you can go back and watch it if you're interested. We're actually using that as game tape. Like that we are studying my film from last year, and that's kind of crazy, you know. And we're studying to learn about our property and where the vulnerabilities were, because I'm not thinking like that at least last year in the moment. So we're just looking back, seeing where like where the flooding was happening. And this is a very different pattern. This is a very different storm. This is a way more intense storm, as a matter of fact. And so, and it's looking like it's going to be a lot closer to Negril here, given what we're seeing here, unfortunately. So the name of the game is like extreme preparation in our minds here, and we're continuing to do that. And again, literally encouraging our guests to check out, like literally encouraging our guests to check out. And like I said, we've blocked off rooms totally from travelers because it's just we're trying to limit the amount of individual responsibilities that we have. And like I said, if you're here ready, we're going to take care of you. We're going to make sure you're comfortable. We're well experienced. We've done this before, and we're being as humanly possibly prepared as possible. So what do I want to do next? Okay. So this other thing, like nobody's talking about this. So this I found this guy last night on X, Twitter, Tony Bright. He I don't know. He's been right so far. I mean, I'm hoping he's wrong on what I'm about to share here. So all right, so I'm gonna this tweet that he put out. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody, like so like, please don't mistake what I'm saying here, what I'm doing here. I'm just presenting the information that I have found and sharing it with you all. And also um I mean, this guy's verified. He's a weather guy, but let's go through what he's saying here. Melissa likely to stay. So this was, I think, also time is the context of time about when this was tweeted. I think is very very important. So today is the 23rd, and he put this out on. Where is the date? Almost certain this was last night. Let me see if I could find it. So this is 21 hours ago. Yeah, he put this out 21 hours ago. This is the same tweet. Okay, we can just read it from it. This was 21 hours ago, and it is currently just about 7 p.m. All right. Melissa likely to stay south of Jamaica and become a Category 5 hurricane by Monday evening. Although Tropical Storm Melissa remains a heavily sheared and vertically misaligned system, it's the lack of structural integrity that will likely cause it to miss hitching a ride with a passing mid-latitude trough to the north. This was like what I believe what the American model was kind of basing it being pulled to the north. So he's kind of counteracting why he thinks that's less likely to happen. In contrast to what has been persistently predicted by the more easterly model solutions, such as the GFS, and have that corridor close as the ridge builds back in and imparts a westerly to west southwesterly steering flow to about 48 to 60 hours. So, this again was 21 hours ago. In the meantime, very weak steering currents should result in slow northwesterly and northwesterly movement towards the aforementioned weakness. Despite that, despite this being by far the most probable scenario, 80%, a more northerly to northeasterly track towards Hispaniola can't be completely ruled out, 20%. But as noted above and over the past couple of days, that will require Melissa to become much better vertically stacked with sufficient depth. Given the continued strong and persistent westerly VWS, that seems pretty unlikely to occur. Consequently, I anticipate a track that has Melissa moving slowly northwesterly towards the island of Jamaica during the next 48 to 60 hours, followed by a sharp turn back to the west, which would keep it at a good distance south of there. Beyond that point, I'm projecting Melissa to continue a general westward trajectory that takes the center further into the northwest Caribbean through the upcoming weekend and into early next week. The track forecast is very similar to the latest 5 p.m. EDT NHC version, albeit just a little south of their 120-hour forecast point. And this particular track scenario if this particular track scenario comes to fruition, it's not too hyperbolic to say that the intensity forecast has an extraordinarily high ceiling. I mean, we're talking cathedral type levels here, and it's conceivable but that Melissa could even approach the NATL basin records for lowest central pressure and or maximum sustained wind speeds. So he's saying that this could be incredibly dangerous, like historically dangerous, quote unquote cathedral type levels. That said, it's impossible for any of us to take any definitive declarations simply because, despite the expected pristine environmental conditions potentially awaiting Melissa beyond 72 hours, the inner core dynamics are rather unpredictable and could very well act to limit the more extreme possibilities. Nonetheless, and as mentioned a couple of days ago, a Category 5 peak intensity appears to be most likely 60% outcome with this particular forecast track once Melissa gets to the Northwest Caribbean by the end of the weekend and early next week. In the shorter term, however, intensification should be relatively slow to occur until the shear begins to abate in the 48 to 60 hour range. And I'm not expecting Melissa to attain hurricane status until after that time. Taking all aforementioned into account, here's the precise center location and corresponding MSW intensity I'm forecasting for Melissa early on Monday afternoon. Southwest of Savlamar, Jamaica. 140 miles. No, 140. I don't know what that means. 140 miles southwest of Savlamar. So right below Sav, which is not that far from. We're talking about a 45-minute drive from Negril. And then he also does an update. Is this the update? Hold on, let me see. Okay, he does. Here's an update. And we're going to look at these spaghetti charts in a second. So this is even sooner. This was 4 a.m. this morning, 15 hours ago. During the past 6 hours, my confidence has increased regarding the exact timing of significantly improving atmospheric conditions whereby Melissa can begin to take full advantage of the highly favorable thermodynamic environment. As such, I'm now inclined to explicitly predict that Melissa will achieve Category 5 strength by the end of the upcoming weekend and not just by Monday evening. With that in mind, here's my current expectation as the precise location and corresponding MSW intensity for Hurricane Melissa on Sunday and Monday afternoons, respectively. So the 26th is Monday. Sorry, so the 26th is Sunday, and 88. Again, I'm not sure what that means. 88 N miles southeast of Savlamar. So I think if somebody can clear that up, knows better than I do. Does that mean it's like southeast of 88 miles southeast of Savlamar? I'm not sure what to make of that or what that means. If anybody nautical mile, okay, thank you, KJ Mark. Nautical miles southeast of Sav. I gotcha. Thank you for that. And then the 27th, 90 nautical miles southwest of Savlamar, Jamaica. One thing you might notice there is that I'm projecting Melissa to begin its turn to the north near 79 west longitude, and this would greatly magnify the threat to western portions of Jamaica not long thereafter. Given that's beyond the 100-hour time frame, I'm going to resist the temptation to specifically forecast beyond 18Z on Monday at this time. I'll plan to provide another more detailed update by late this evening. So this is one guy that I'm following. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And again, crazy spaghetti chart. These ones are just, it seems very unlikely that it's going to be, from all the modeling that we're seeing, that it's going to be going to the north and to the northeast soon. And it serves us it doesn't serve us any real purpose to prepare in that regard, to think that it's going to go northeast at this time. So much rather prepare for the worst. Much rather prepare for the worst. All right, let's see what else we got here. Again, crazy charts. Like, I've never seen it like this. Like, it's incredibly unpredictable. And these are the outer bands that I was talking about. This is tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm talking about, like, we're supposed to be getting like basically 4 days straight of rain, from what I understand. And it's just moving very slowly. And it should, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be consistently raining. And I'm paying close attention to, when this thing becomes a hurricane, and then also the intensity of the hurricane, because that's what's really going to dictate the wind speeds, which is also another danger. I mean, there's like the three worst conditions that you can ask for with a hurricane: slow moving, rain, and strong intensity. Right? This is not a slow moving tropical storm. This is a slow moving, potentially category 4 or 5 hurricane. You can't ask for worse conditions. You can't ask for worse conditions. You hope it's like a barrel, or it's like, I remember speaking to people who were in Treasure Beach, where it was like in a blink of an eye it was over, but when you looked around, it was just devastation. So it's just crazy that we're kind of going through this again so quickly. Lots of rain. Hold on. What is the purple? Yeah, that's rain. That's rain. Oof. This is, hold on, let me make sure that we're reading this right. I'm not seeing a legend here, but I'm assuming that's rain. Yeah. All right. Let's get to some comments here real quick. Is St. Elizabeth a flood-prone area? Jamaica Ari showed a clip, I believe, with Kingston and St. Elizabeth flooding. I say, like, I would think like anything that's like at a bottom of a mountain, because like that's when you get a lot of flooding, because the soil isn't able to soak up the rain, and then it's going to go down to the gravity is going to pull it down, and that's when you get like mudslides and flooding. Or of course, if you're near a riverbank and you have overflow, that sort of thing. So at least that's what I think. What do I know? Pete checking in from Atlanta. It's late in the season, but all it takes is one. You're right about that. You're right about that, Pete. Buffalo Soldier slow really tore the Bahamas up a few years ago. Slow is not good at all. Yeah, not good at all. At all. Cola, hello, Throp and Throppers from Dallas, Texas. I hope you all in Jamaica prepared and stay safe during the passage of the terrible looking storm. Thank you. Punty, you're right. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. What's going on, Charles? Thanks for joining. James, what's going on, man? Make it not be a category 5, Melissa, man. I hope not. I really hope not. Charles says, stay safe as possible. Pray for the best, but prepare for the worst. Watching from Nassau, Bahamas. Yeah, best of luck to you up there as well. Best of luck to you there as well. But you have a lot more time than we do in respect to preparation and also seeing and understanding what's to come. Donna Bryce, good thing you bought that generator for Travelers Drop. Yes, we're very, very, very happy and lucky that we have it. Mika says in Jamaica right now, I'm cooked. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's just gonna, like I said before, if you can't get out, you can't get out, and you stay batting down the hatches. Don't do anything silly. Listen to, if you're staying at a hotel, listen to the leadership there. Don't be a hero. If they say shelter in place, and don't put your life in jeopardy or your health in any way unnecessarily. It's not worth it. It really, really isn't. And I would also say, again, it's like, speaking of, it's the aftermath. It's the aftermath that you think about, that a lot of people I don't think about, and that you don't know, like, are we going to have electricity? Well, you're not going to be. There's possibility you might not have AC. Yes, we have a generator here. We have loads and loads of water, in like drinking bottled water, but also our water reserves. But you just don't know how long you're going to be inconvenienced, or how long that you're going to be relying on these temporary apparatuses, if you will. That is the generator, and then also our water supply, because everybody's going to be in the same position. Everybody's going to be looking for the same resources. They're going to be looking for diesel. They're going to be looking for water, and dealing with the same situation. So, and you just know that there are also going to be people who are just like not taking this thing seriously, and that are going to be unprepared. And so resources will have to go to those folks, sort of thing. So it's like, you're not cooked, Mika. Like, you just need to be prepared, and then also batten down the hatches, of course, and be prepared to be uncomfortable for a few days, right? Post storm, we're talking about like Tuesday, Wednesday, because again, we don't know what that's going to look like. You may not have your conveniences that you're used to if you're here on vacation. So these are the things, and also the mindsets we try to get people into in going into something of this nature. Lorene, good evening. Yes, sir. Praying for Jamaica safety. Thank you. Metro Atlanta Real Estate and Mortgage Insights. Greetings, Throp and Throppers. Praying for your safety during this pending storm. Thank you. What's going on, Oren? Natalie, good to have you on. It's moving super slow, 2 miles per hour. Yeah, that's the problem there. NM Nautical Miles, thank you for that. Appreciate it. That's 1.15 miles. Thank you for the conversion, Pete. Clarity, wish everyone the best. So far, the slow process of Melissa seems to be the off and on rainfalls and gusts of winds. The waves are pounding, and it's eerily calm in Treasure Beach. It's my first outing, first round on the shore. Okay, is there anybody else here in Jamaica in another part? So Clary is in Treasure Beach, and we should have tried to get. You know what? I will try to do that. I'm streaming tomorrow morning, either morning and afternoon, to kind of give people insight into like kind of where we are at the given time. And I will try to get people on who are in other parts of the island, so we can get a sense of what's going on. So I wish I thought of that today. I would love to hear what's happening in other parts of the island. Yeah, if you could give us any more updates, Clary, we'd love to hear. Tisha, good night, everyone. Haven't caught alive in forever. Prayers up that Melissa doesn't affect Jamaica. Yeah, but not looking likely, to be honest. Bro, this is just James. Bro, this is getting Katrina or Wilma numbers for Hurricane Melissa. Yeah, not looking too good. Not looking good at all. Susan Kent says this is not looking good. Nope, nope, nope. James saying off the charts. Donna Bryce, having experienced Hurricane Gilbert firsthand, I know how serious this is. It very much is. Very much is. Jeff Rogerson, what's going on? The slow movement of this storm is really concerning. Praying for Jamaica. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, that's one of the worst parts. One of the worst parts of it. You know, you kind of wish for it to be over and done, but this thing is crawling. Like literally, you can jog faster than this thing. Susan said, "I just saw the Weatherman Plus report on YouTube. Lots of great specific info. Is that the? Is that this guy? This is who I've been following, Mr. Weatherman. This is like my guy. This is my guy. Like this, we might watch a. We'll probably watch a little bit of it together shortly, and I'll also encourage you to like give him a sub. He's just been so amazing. He's been great, 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 great. Give him a sub before you even get over to that video. Clary says, what do you know about Porter Parity Road near Black River and Luna for weather conditions like this? Luna, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I would if you can leave the South Coast, I would leave the South Coast. I tell you that right now. I mean, unless you have a business there or something. But if you're like a guest, get out of South Coast. I would say like that's where it's you're gonna see. Sorry, I didn't even realize you weren't seeing the Mr. Weatherman. That's where you're gonna see like the most of those outer bands is gonna be just like whipping. You know, we're gonna get it here in the grill. Like, there's no question about it. Like, no doubt about it. We're gonna get it. But I don't know. I don't know. Sherry Young, thank you. Thoughts and prayers for my Jamaica. Please, everyone, be safe. Thank you very much, Sherry. Appreciate that. James says the cost of food is going up. Like, what do you mean? Like prices in the supermarket have gone up? Is that what you're saying? Lady Carlson, please be safe. Tia Carlson, sorry. Please be safe. I'm watching from Central Florida. I'm used to this, but you guys, please be safe. Thank you. Thank you. Jay Fitz says, one silver lining is Throp-X is not this week. Oh my God. No, it's not. Throp-X is still happening. Throp-X is still happening. Allow me to use this opportunity to say that Throp-X is still happening. And yes, thankfully. And that's good. I mean, Throp-X used to be 1 week earlier, but having it pushed back one more week is definitely helpful with scenarios like this. Glislin Capola Villa, we all hope the best results for everyone's safety. Melissa is the name of my granddaughter. So with Melissa Hurricane, all will be well and safe in Jesus' name. Be calm. Thank you. Ever Ready says, right, and those will be in storm recording. I think I'm missing context there. Sheila W., I'm praying for you all. To the high ground, head to the high ground with water and solar battery chargers. Marva Francis, Marva living in the U.S. From Manchester. I'm praying for Jamaica's safety during this time. Thank you. Mark, what's going on? Chiming in from Catherine, Canada. What number hurricane is this for you? Be safe. I can't remember. This is at least my fifth. I'm sure I've done more than five, but I can't even remember. Can't remember. Got my tank on full of my truck. Yeah, fill up your gas tanks for sure. Fill up your gas tanks if you have a vehicle. Robert Smith said, I had a 6 p.m. flight today in Kingston, Jamaica from Atlanta for my birthday weekend. I was happy with my 5-day trip. Was fully refunded. Please be safe. Good call. Good call. Honored to report on Throp TV. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna reach out to you. Would love to have you on tomorrow, Clary. Hopefully you're in a safe position to talk to us. Nally says he's the best. That's right. Talking about Mr. Weatherman. James says he would be willing to join in the grill. Okay. Thank you, James. Sheila W. Slow calling storms dump more rain and flooding. Very deceptive. Get to high ground. Sunshine, baby. My prayers are with you all in Jamaica, watching from London. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. 173 on, less than half hit the like. Yes, would appreciate that very much. All right. Let's Everybody says, so you were saying those who will not take it seriously, and I remember those who always find a way to be in the middle of the storm recording. I hope not, though. There will be those people. I was one of those people last year in Barrel. But you know, I'm going to be careful. This one is very, very different, and definitely not guaranteeing that I'm going to be streaming in the storm. I will definitely. We had Wi-Fi last year, which was crazy. Gonna definitely stream as much as I possibly can. But obviously, my first response, maybe first thought, is preparing here. Like that was my whole day today, and gonna do the same tomorrow. And I always tell people, you know, I'm gonna tell my brothers after I go off stream, is just like, get your sleep now. It's like it's almost like preparing for a marathon. You're not going to sleep the night before a marathon, so you got to get your sleep 2 to 3 days before. Hydrate as much as possible. Obviously, eat good, get your body some good nutrition, but be prepared not to sleep. And because this is, from what I understand, is going to be coming here in like the middle of the night. It's like you just don't know. You just don't know from my experience. You don't know what's going to happen when. So you just want to be able to have the energy, as much energy as you can, and to give your body rest while you can, because you just don't know where the finish line with this is actually going to be. You have no idea. And yes, the finish line of the storm could be the Monday, Tuesday, but the aftermath is going to be weeks. Aftermath is going to be weeks. At least you got to prepare for that. You know, you got to prepare your body for that. You got to prepare your mind for that. And this is how I approach it. This is how we're approaching it here at Travelers. All right, let's watch the weatherman for a little bit. Mr. Weatherman, I should say. All right, hold on. I gotta change my sound so you guys can hear this. All right, I'm gonna do this at, I usually do it at 2x. I'll do 1.5. Let me know if that's okay. If it's too fast, let me know. I'll slow it down.
October 23rd, 2025 into the evening. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. In this video, I want to highlight the slow movement of this. This is Melissa. It is now starting to get better organized. So it is starting to kind of gather some steam and organize. We're going to see more of that as it gets stronger over the next couple days. It is going to be very, very slow. With that said, as this moves closer to Jamaica, this is going to be a long duration event. On Saturday morning, some of us may be saying, hey, what storm? It's not here yet. Well, it's not supposed to be. As we get deeper into the day on Saturday, that's when it's really going to start to work in for a lot of us. But here's the issue. A hurricane on one day is bad enough, let alone the potential of it impacting us late Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even into Tuesday. That is the big issue, because that means two things: persistent winds, tropical storm, or hurricane force for about 3 days, maybe a little bit more. And that means 3 to 4 days.
Sorry, is that too fast? Jasmine saying it's fast. If it's too fast, let me know.
Days of tropical rain. So you get the idea with this system. A very slow mover. Really, it doesn't make a difference on the exact path of this. We have high concerns in Jamaica, so we are making those preparations. Now, I want to show you the rain totals as well. So it's the duration of the winds and the duration of the rain, which will really stack up. Now, as this area is still disorganized, kind of a sloppy system, as it continues, a little glitch in the satellite, as it works its way to the north, it just feeds in that moisture. Our team on the ground has been letting me know parts of Haiti, we've already had that flooding around, and we've already had that in parts of the Dominican Republic. Heavy batches of rain continue to move in. The southern coast of Haiti, the peninsula, we could have tropical storm or hurricane force winds deeper into the weekend. So it's only going to get worse. Even as this area eventually moves its way toward Jamaica, the backside flow just persisted, bringing in over 300 millimeters of rain easily in some spots, especially along the southern coast of Haiti, watching over toward the Dominican Republic. Little enhancement as well of some of the rain in Puerto Rico. Now, in this video, I also want to talk about down the road as this makes a turn. What could that mean for the Cayman Islands, Cuba, the Bahamas, and the Turks and Caicos?
Okay, too fast. I do 2x. This is 1.5. All right, we'll slow it down.
So we're going to cover that. Now, here's the most likely path as it stands. This is right now as we work our way into tonight. This is how slow of a mover this is. Tomorrow and Saturday still sitting here, but with that, just pumping in heavier weather back toward Haiti. That is the concern. Again, you've been getting the word out. This is the critical time before the storm to spread the word. I appreciate you sharing this channel, no doubt, to get it out there. If you do subscribe, you'll get the notifications because I'll put out some additional videos and you'll get those first. With that, I just want to get the word out about this. The rain is only going to be picking up in Haiti and even the Dominican Republic. And then eventually, as this works its way from Saturday into Sunday, Monday, and even Tuesday. It could be sitting on top of or very close to Jamaica for, again, about 3, maybe 3.5 to 4 days. That is a huge problem. As I mentioned, a big system moving by in a day, that's bad enough. This could be sitting there. Now, still a difference in some of the models, although the American model is starting to shift back to the West, and there are more signs that it is simply off because it is not reading the environment very well. Either way, if this were to move right into Haiti, the impact's the big concern still is the rain. So it doesn't really change as far as what we do. We've been making the preparations best we can. We all have different means. We're trying to help each other. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, the rain, regardless of the track, the major and life-threatening situation. So watching out for that flood and mudslide potential. And then as we work our way back toward Jamaica, the European model, the one I'm leaning to, brings this in. And most of the models show this. So a big model difference, but most of the models show what the European model is showing: a strengthening hurricane on top of or near Jamaica for several days. Now, you can see here, we're going to see a lot of watches and warnings. We already have those. The watches that are out will be changing over to warnings, especially as we go over the next 24 hours. That is not a surprise. We're going to get warnings out of this as this moves closer. The track of it will take it just to the south of Jamaica or potentially in. Now, there will be differences as we go forward. If this moves into the west end of Jamaica, of course, that would increase the winds for everyone, the higher impacts. East end, if it moves into the east end, that would lessen some of the impacts in our western tier. And I'm still not sure about that. That's something we have to fine tune together and just really go step by step as we go forward. So let me show you what I'm seeing, at least a first sample of what's going to happen. Now, Saturday is an interesting day in the sense that some of us may wake up to some sun. Some of us may be going all day and saying, hey, what storm? Where's this storm? Well, remember that Brian said this is a very slow mover. It is taking its time. But on Saturday, especially late on Saturday, the hurricane, should be a hurricane by then, will be approaching the eastern side of Jamaica. So the winds pick up upwards of about 60 to maybe 70 miles per hour with higher gusts, especially Saturday night. This is still to the east. So again, western zones, not as much. Winds 35 to 40. Of course, with that said, the seas are going to be building. We know that. They're going to be very aggressive. We'll already have some of the coastal flooding out ahead of all of this moving in. But you get a sample of some of the winds, how they pick up from east to west. This is Saturday. Now, with that said, you trust me, put a lot of trust in me, and I do not take that for granted. I do the same. I trust you. This map here and the maps I'm about to show you, they are going to change because the track is uncertain, and it's one of those systems. It's going to be uncertain the entire way. So stick with me, right? I will let you know. I'll put out those additional videos, but it's going to change. So you can see here, maybe by the time I join you tomorrow morning, it's showing that we'll have the winds approaching 90 miles per hour by Saturday. We'll see. We've got to see how this shakes out together. So just know that it's going to change. So as you share this information, say, hey, Brian also said that there's going to be some changes to this. So we're just going to do this system together because, again, high variables, high chance of changes in this. Now, by Sunday, as it stands now, it looks like this will be very close to the southern coast or maybe right on top of Jamaica. This is where I think it could be. I think it could be trying to make a landfall or at least close to it Sunday into Monday, right along the southern coast. Obviously, this is a bad situation with the wind, with the rain. A sample of some of the winds, if this is the case, maybe around 110 miles per hour. I've seen some of the computer models saying they could be as high as 130, maybe 140. Others saying that maybe it'll be a little bit weaker. Maybe the mountains will help us out a lot more. Let's hope they do and keep it a bit weaker. But this gives us a firsthand. If the position is here, and as I mentioned, it's going to change some. Maybe this will be over here. Maybe it'll be over there. But on Sunday, if it is sitting here, we're talking about winds along the southern coast upwards of 110 miles per hour. But that's still, even as that moves in, it wraps around those strong winds on the north side. So we're getting the hurricane conditions on Sunday on the north side as well, just a little bit less, but wrapping around, and all of us dealing with those very high seas. And again, the winds around the system are counterclockwise. So it pushes in the water here, it pushes in the water here, kind of takes it off here and then pushes it back. So it just depends on where the center of this is, when we're going to see the flooding. Then on Monday, there are some indications that this could make that direct landfall, move right on top. This could also be Tuesday. That's the issue.
Oh boy, this is terrible. I didn't see this. This is not This is the first time I'm seeing this. So this is really bad. This, because we're talking about he's talking about days. This thing is going to be basically on top of Jamaica and then going through very, very slowly. Oh man, and that's going right through cockpit country. But you don't know. We don't know. We still don't know. We still don't know. If we go back to our spaghetti charts here, let's see if we can find we have some even going to Negril, and coming here. So it's hard to say, but you just gotta prepare as much as possible. I think. Excuse me. You gotta prepare as much as possible. Again, please, everybody, go give him a follow. He's doing a really, really incredible job in keeping us up to date. I just put the link in the comment section there. I think he's doing a phenomenal job. And it costs us nothing to subscribe to him. So please do that. Let's keep watching here.
It could be such a slow mover. Some of the models are saying, hey, when it starts to turn, it slows down. That's what happens. I've been doing this for decades. When a system starts to come at you and then starts to turn, it's kind of feeling something, but it takes a minute to get caught up into that front. So it actually slows down. So this same map on Monday may also be Tuesday, and that's the big problem. That's a long duration wind event. If you just have strong winds for a 12-hour period, that can knock down some trees. Well, if you have those same strong winds, I'm not even talking about hurricane force winds, say tropical storm force winds, say 60, 70, if they persist for over a day, then 2 days, then 3 days, that just piles up. It pushes the trees, it pushes everything else, and the wind direction is going to change. So it could be pushing something one way, then the winds come out of the other way, and it pushes it the other way. It's easier to fall then because it's kind of already loosened. So this is a feel of what we could expect on Monday. Winds approaching 100 on the north side, still near 100 on the south side. That's the early feel. Now, if this is more over here and sitting over water longer, the winds will be substantially higher, right? If it is taking more of a route over the water, the winds will be substantially higher. Could be a category 4, potentially category 5. If this comes in a little bit sooner, say into the eastern zones, that would bring some higher winds here, but give it less time to strengthen, and it would lessen the winds in the western sections. Hope that makes sense. So again, it really depends on the position, but everything I just showed you, all of the models, what I'm seeing, it's bringing a hurricane to Jamaica as we work our way into the weekend, especially deeper into the weekend and early next week. Now, as far as the rain goes, this gives us a feel. Here we are in Jamaica, Cuba, Turks and Caicos, Southern Bahamas, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. You see these brighter colors showing up, especially along the peninsula in Haiti. We're talking about 300 to 400 millimeters of rain, 30 to 40 centimeters, a foot to 2 feet of rain. That could be underdone. What I mean by underdone is it could actually be more than that. We could actually see more rain than that. And then eventually, this is a 3-day forecast. So this is really the rest of today into tomorrow, into Saturday. We could eventually see, even Saturday night, this stuff here as this moves in. If the hurricane moves into our direction, is sitting on top of us in Jamaica and eventually Cuba, watching as well, this rain here sitting over water moves on top of us. These are rain totals, almost hard to say, 500 to 750 millimeters. So we're talking 20 to 30 inches. We're talking 2 to 3 feet. So again, upwards of 500 millimeters, pushing 750 millimeters of rain. That is some historic levels of rain, just since we've had the records for Jamaica, if that shakes out. Because I mentioned the long duration event, that would be significant life-threatening flooding. And I don't mean this to be scary. I'm hoping all of this stays away and we wake up and we just get better. Every minute I'm just trying to find, talking to my family, trying to find better news, but just telling you what I'm seeing at this point. We could have an incredibly significant rain event out of this, not just the winds, the long duration winds, but the life-threatening rain. That's why I mentioned we all have different means. If you could just kind of talk to one another. So if you live in a spot that's a little more vulnerable, maybe you've got a place to go to kind of ride out this storm in a structure, more of a block structure, away from water, less susceptible, less likely to be dealing with landslides and rock slides, that sort of thing. So that's what we're doing now. I mentioned now is the most critical time because we we can make those preparations. We are in action mode, and we can help each other and get the word out as well. So with that, we're in action mode. Haiti and the Dominican Republic, again, for the significant life-threatening flooding, not all of the DR, but several areas. And then, of course, across Haiti, southern end of Haiti, watching over toward Jacmel, tropical storm to hurricane conditions are possible on top of the rain. And then, of course, Jamaica, full throttle hurricane preparations. Whatever you have to do to stay safe. I hope we get some good news. I hope we're chatting on Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And we're like, hey, thank goodness it was not as bad, and we're grateful. But at this point, because I was showing you if this takes that turn toward us, which it should, it looks like it's going to, late Saturday, we start to get some really bad weather moving in. It is Thursday evening now. That window to prepare, it is closing. Tomorrow's the last full day to do that. And some of us are going to have some rain tomorrow. So we need to make those full throttle hurricane preparations.
And I'll say I tried to go to the ATM today. Forget about it. As much as we were complaining on Sunday about the ATM lines being long and there being no money, it was madness. I just walked out. It was at the NTB at Boardwalk Plaza. And yeah, anybody, if you have friends, you have family here, it's like, get that stuff out the way tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, everything is going to be packed. I heard people told me that the shelves in Kingston are empty. I don't know how true that is. Does anybody have any experience? I went to Hilo today. Everything seems normal. The shelves were well stocked. Everything seemed okay. When I say okay, like things were available for purchase. That ATM line was crazy. And I'm sure it's going to be the same tomorrow. So the more you can do tomorrow, and like Mr. Weatherman here is saying, on Saturday, it might look normal. It might be normal. It might look normal. It might be normal. It might look normal, but it's not. So if you can encourage your friends and family who are here to start preparing as much as humanly possible. And of course, I'm sure when we wake up tomorrow morning, we're just going to have so much more information. It's going to be just more updated, what we're saying and seeing here and is being discussed. And what else are you going to do, right? I'm just thinking of like what we're doing to prepare here, travelers. And the limbing is the biggest thing for us, like learning from Beryl last year. It's just getting our trees down to like as slim as possible. We took out the glass. Another thing we learned from last year is like we took out all the glass at the restaurant because we lost a bunch of our glass panels on our restaurant deck. So we took them all out. Encouraging guests to hop on planes if they can, but I mean tomorrow is probably it. Minister Vaz got on the I was gonna say the blower. He got on. He was on the news saying that normally within about 24 hours of a hurricane being declared in the region, the airports will normally be closed. So I'm sure there are a lot of flights being canceled and a lot of people trying to get onto flights and get out of here, as you should. And that also helps everybody. That does help people here. It's like, I hate to say it like this, but it's just one less person to worry about, But again, if you are here and if you are stuck, you're going to be okay as long as you listen and you follow the rules and follow what the leaders in your respective places are saying. You should be fine. You should be fine. And again, it's probably, one of the things that we're again thinking about here more than anything else is the inconvenience, if you will, post hurricane. You don't know what the roads are going to be like. You don't know how long JPS is going to take to come back on, because it's just like automatically assume we're not going to have electricity coming from JPS. Automatically assume that. And then who knows what's going to happen with wire. Like, you just don't know. You just don't know. You just don't have a clue. You don't know how long roads are going to be. Like, they're going to be roads that are insurpassable, like no matter what. This is like, you don't know how long that's going to be. So just be prepared to be inconvenienced a bit and know that everything, whether you're at a hotel or otherwise, is not going to be up and running as normal. But look at it, I always tell people to also, and then I also say, like, even my experience in going through this, like everybody everybody understands, and that's probably been one of the best parts of my experience. Like everybody understands that this is a natural disaster, that you can't do anything about a lot of things that are happening, and people are pretty good spirited about it. Honestly, that's kind of been my experience, and there are definitely silver linings in this as well in my experience. So like I said, just we're preparing as much as possible. I encourage those folks out there to prepare as much as possible who are here and that can't move, and just to take it seriously. Charge up all your batteries, your backup chargers. Make sure you have candles, matches, lighters, chargeable flashlights as well. But I haven't experienced anything like this, where it's gonna be around for days and days and days. So I'm also trying to prepare myself mentally. And again, I will encourage people, get your rest now. Tonight's Thursday, get your rest Thursday night, get your rest Friday night, and Saturday into Sunday. We don't know right now, but definitely Sunday into Monday, that's going to be seemingly the heart of it, and just want to be energy prepared as well as being physically prepared. All right, let's get to some comments here real quick. Shalia says, global warming every year gets worse, so take it seriously. Absolutely. Donald Bryce says, this is when you see the value of booking through a travel agent, waivers in place to change and refund airline tickets, and direct phone lines to the airlines beat the line. Susan Kent says, if I was in the grill, I would be going at least up to Whitehall. Going too high up in the mountains, concerns there would be much higher, and winds and mudslides. Sorry, Throp. Yeah. Let's keep watching the video. Let's keep watching.
Now, don't have a choice in the matter, right? Everything I'm showing you everything I've got. It makes sense that we need to take those preparations for a direct hit of a hurricane in Jamaica, and then we will see together exactly what happens. But we have to make those preparations, no doubt, full throttle hurricane preparations at this time across Jamaica. And then we'll continue to break it down together exactly what happens. Now, as far as monitor mode goes, Cayman Islands, I'm not seeing a scenario at this point that just shoots this toward the Cayman Islands. But what I do,
I'm going to skip this a bit. Try to get to the Jamaica stuff. Not that we don't care about them, but trying to stay on task here.
We are starting to really kind of ramp things up. We're not in full action mode yet, but we're starting to think, hey, if tomorrow we're in action mode or the next day, what do I need to do to keep my family safe, to keep a property safe best I can? So again, monitor mode for some new locations. And you see why right here. All of the modeling, except the American model, takes this right toward Jamaica. Again, the southern track versus that eastern track, that'll be critical for the impacts, but that's what we'll be tracking together. But it's going to be a large system. So all of us are going to get some impacts. All of us are making the preps. Now, the American model is a little bit more over here a couple days ago, even yesterday. So it has shifted a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. But either way, you can see here across the Cayman Islands, most of the modeling, what I'm seeing now is that this would move right over Jamaica and then lift up toward the eastern end of Cuba as a hurricane. And then, of course, that would mean hurricane impacts for the southeastern section of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, but it's a slow mover. That's why we're in monitor mode. I value your resources, your time, all of that, no doubt. So we've got some time, a little more time to kind of watch this because it's going to be a slow mover. So southeastern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, hang with me. We got another day or two to kind of fine tune this. Now, this black line is kind of the consensus of the models. That's not always right, but in this case, this is what I would lean to, that curl back toward Jamaica, then kind of coming right over Jamaica and then lifting toward eastern Cuba, southern and southeastern Bahamas, close to the Turks and Caicos as a hurricane and then shooting off. Bermuda, I watch everyone down the road. We'll be waiting and seeing, of course, if this is still something as it works its way toward Bermuda. A lot's going to hinge on the timing of a front that is working its way back through the southeast U.S. eventually, which I'll show you in a second. Now, all of the models have this strengthening. Again, we're starting to lose some of the wind shear. So a day from now, tomorrow, we'll start to see more organization, but especially Saturday into Sunday, that's when most of the models have this as a hurricane a couple days from now. And then some, and many of them, and some reliable models have this as a major hurricane, but it depends on the track. If this moves right into Jamaica, the mountains will help out some. But if it stays just to the south, it could be a Category 4, Category 5. We're just going to have to handle that together. Now, the concern is the water, of course. If it takes that path right around Jamaica, just be feeding off the warm water. That would be a horrible situation, having a Category 4, maybe 5 nearby for days and days. But still, if it moves right in as a hurricane, we have hurricane impacts that would be moving in. But it's not just the warm water temperatures. It's riding right over the heat content. So even though it moves slowly, it doesn't really churn up cooler water, high heat content, or hot pockets in the water. It just brings up more warm water to help fuel it. Now, here's a look at a version of the European model. And this, I think, has the best handle at this time of what could happen, but we'll see how this changes together. So here's Jamaica, here's Haiti, Dominican Republic, Cuba. We get back through the Cayman Islands, watching Central America, not seeing a scenario that this kind of shoots closer, but monitoring everything. Belize back through Honduras, watching the islands, Providencia. High pressure, the blockers up here, at least temporarily. We've got the blocker up here. There's another area of high pressure, another blocker here. So it can't really go. And then meanwhile, just filters in all that rain toward Hispaniola. Not a lot of rain yet. Well, we've had rain in spots in Jamaica, but not widespread yet. Not all of us have had that. Then by the time we work our way into tomorrow, starting to strengthen, right? Later tomorrow should become a tropical storm, a stronger tropical storm later tomorrow as it organizes, but still not into Jamaica, but still pumping in all of that rain to Haiti and back toward parts of the Dominican Republic. There's a front that it doesn't really grab it. High pressure, there's that area of high pressure that's at least temporary, helping to keep it just sitting in place. The highs are the blockers. That's why it's not moving. It doesn't have anywhere to go. It wants to lift to the north, but then it bumps into that. I mentioned another area of high pressure back toward the west. Now, as we go from Friday into Saturday, here's Jamaica. Again, Cayman Islands right through here. You could see this area getting closer. Now, as it gets closer, and this is a problem. This is later on Saturday. It barely moved, right? You could even rewind this video a little bit, go back on it. It barely moved. And then with that, we could get clipped by strong tropical storm or even hurricane conditions, southern peninsula of Haiti. And Saturday is the day I mentioned. Some of us will start to feel the winds, but others will be like, where's the storm? It's not here yet. Well, by the time we get into Sunday, this is Sunday, that's when a strengthening hurricane gets closer and starts to work in. So we'll start to get some impacts in eastern sections of Jamaica late Saturday night, with hurricane conditions more likely, very likely in eastern sections, and then starting to spread across. Now, here comes the system back through the U.S. This is what will eventually guide this system and help it make that turn. So we don't have that blocker in place, and we've got something that can eventually move it, but it's going to take a while. This here is by the time we get into Monday, and look at Monday. This will either be in Jamaica or very close as a strengthening hurricane. Could be a Category 2, Category 3 major hurricane at that point. This is the long duration event I've been talking about. That makes it really tough. I've been through these. I've been through some of the very long ones. It feels like in the middle of the night in a hurricane, as you know, it feels like forever, let alone dealing with this for quite a bit of time. But it does help to know that. That's why I'm giving you the heads up to kind of help reduce anxiety, to give you a handle on what's going to happen, because this is by Tuesday. This model has this hurricane still sitting either on top of or near Jamaica by the time we get into Tuesday, which is a terrible scenario. Now think about that. A hurricane dumps a lot of rain in one day. We're talking 3 to 4 days. That's why I mentioned those rain totals that are so substantial. And my concern is safety, not even as much exactly what happens with the forecast exactly, but with safety. We're going to have a ton of rain. We need to help each other out, and we may need to switch locations to stay safe. Now, by the time we get into Wednesday, this should finally move. System kind of digs into the southeast U.S., grabs this and moves it back toward Cuba. Maybe a little bit faster than this at this point. Sometimes when it gets picked up, if this front speeds up a little bit more, it may already be over the southeastern Bahamas and near the Turks and Caicos at that point, kind of coming out of Cuba. We'll wait and see. But you get the feel of the long duration event, as this will be nearby Jamaica, or at least, or just simply moving in for a multitude of days. Now, here's the American model. This one is still different. I still like to show you everything I have. That's always my promise to you, to just give you everything. I trust your judgment, your knowledge with these things. The American model shows this working its way toward Haiti and the Dominican Republic. This is nothing's out of the realm of possibility. We're talking about the future, right? It's really hard to forecast 3 days out, let alone 5, 6 days out. Well, this here is the American model. It is just saying that the front of the north is stronger and it will grab it and move in a hurricane to Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That would keep it away from Jamaica. That would be that would be amazing. Not that we wish it on anyone else, but already, regardless of the track, as I mentioned in previous videos, Haiti and the Dominican Republic, whether it's the American model or the European model, we are getting the life-threatening rain. That is the big concern. That's why I've been warning us throughout Haiti and the DR for days and days. Now, this model is less likely, but I'll be watching everything to see if we do have any changes. I always want to give you all the information I have. So Jamaica, we need to make those full throttle hurricane preparations. That's just where we stand now, not only for just a hurricane, Kimball, I'm saying just a hurricane, but one that could last several days. So we have no choice based on what I showed you, right? You've seen it with me. We have to take those preparations. My biggest concern, well, obviously the winds, will be the flooding, the rain. That's why I mentioned just in your location, your community, anybody who doesn't have as a home that's as good, that maybe they could have a place to go. That's one of my biggest concerns, because I've been through these things. I've seen things, even just we've seen just bad days of rain, right, where we've had huge issues and rock slides and mudslides, rivers rising. This is if this pans out, this will be much more significant to a high degree. So we really need to help each other out on this, which I know you're doing. I'm seeing your comments. Exact track, that landfall point uncertain, doesn't move right in, doesn't move around, east, west. I'll fine tune that with you every step of the way, and I'll update those winds based on what I'm seeing, right? We're going to have some changes. Where it goes, though, very high impacts. Those rain totals, they're crazy. They are so very high with this. We're starting to get that in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, so we're already seeing it happening. And then in a couple days, we'll start to see the rain totals really stacking up across Jamaica with a life-threatening flooding and the winds. If this just continues to intensify, it could be a major hurricane moving into Jamaica. Every system is different. This one looks to be a slow mover, looks to have some high winds and an incredible amount of rain. This is a very high concern. So take care of your family, take care of yourself, help each other out in a system like this, especially because it's going to be so long. And as we go forward, I'll have more specifics for you. Know that I'm watching this nonstop. I've got you covered. That is my promise to you.
All right, there you have it, Mr. Weatherman himself. And yeah, it does not look good at all. Does not look good at all. Even kind of going back to some of these spaghetti charts. Let's see if we got any new ones here. No, everybody's watching the same thing we just watched.
Rages in the Caribbean at the moment. Now, the American model pushes this system quicker into the Atlantic, whereas the European model, look at this. This model keeps the storm in the Caribbean Sea, where it really intensifies, becoming a major hurricane, and then pushes north into Jamaica, going into Cuba, and then finally the Bahamian Islands, and then getting finally pushed out into the Atlantic. Now, the impacts to the U.S. are not looking likely at the moment.
You know, and I can remember last year when Beryl, like it was just so interesting because it was going east to west. You were hearing things in Kingston, you were hearing things on the South Coast before it was coming here, and like you kind of saw things, or you understood what was about to come because it was happening there and it was coming here. So I feel like it's like going to be the same thing here. But we have so crazy, like Saturday, it's Thursday, right? And the anticipation is also terrible too. I'll say that, you know, of just like getting more information, getting half information, not having enough information, more information that you like, you know, you're not getting it, and then preparing accordingly. So yeah, just the scenario that we're in. Let's see what the Jamaican news is saying.
With the weather, the tropical storm watch, which was in effect for Jamaica, has been upgraded to a tropical storm warning, while a hurricane watch is now in effect for Tropical Storm Melissa. The Met Office has urged Jamaicans to be vigilant and carefully monitor updates on Melissa, which has seen a slight increase in forward speed. The government has appealed to residents of Port Royal and Kingston to comply with directives to relocate amid the threat of Tropical Storm Melissa whenever they are issued. In the past, some residents have rebuffed efforts by authorities to relocate to designated shelters. Meanwhile, Jamaica's utility companies, including JPS, have reported that they are in a state of readiness and have implemented tropical storm measures. In other news, Police Corporal Nevada English died on.
All right. Yeah, kind of. I think we pretty much got real comprehensive coverage with that video, and just gonna keep monitoring here as much as possible. Like I've just been testing. I've been checking Twitter like all day. Crazy stuff going on here. I still we're still doing our New York event as far as I'm concerned. I have a New York event next Saturday. If you're not aware, we're doing a Throp-X meetup next Saturday, November 1st in Manhattan. If you're interested, you can sign up in the description below. We got the link there. I'll also, let me see. No, that's not it. I will also post it in the chat here. If you're interested, would love to meet you. We're still doing that next. Why is it so long? We're still doing that next Saturday, November 1st. You can go to the description and you can click the link and you will have you'd be just added to the list and would send you out the information on it once you're on the email list. All right, this is the link, I guess. It's super long. But I'll throw it in the chat anyway. There we go. And yeah, we're just going to continue to prepare here, and also still continue to prepare for Throp-X. Throp-X in 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. So we're still, as far as I'm concerned, we are still good to go with that and still preparing accordingly. Thank you, everybody. Everybody's still buying tickets and things are coming together really, really well for that. And still super excited for that. Let's get to the comments real quick. Man, I want to keep this an hour and a half, but hurricane talk, right? Let's get the comments real quick. Jeff, my daughter is pissed. The storm is named Melissa. Her name, she loves Jamaica. That's all right. Conscious Goddess, pray for Jamaica. Please do. Michelle, stay safe and stay inside, everyone in Jamaica. Pray all will be well, and those who need shelter, go there. Yes, absolutely. Philip, take all precautions to grow family. Absolutely. Suzanne says the rain is the highest concern. Agreed. Clary T, I really believe we are seeing the rain now. It's been raining steadily for over a week here in Treasure Beach. My goodness, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. Philippe praying for Haitian family also. Mark, we don't see the full screens drop. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that. Sorry about that. Is it possible for Jamaica to get 6 feet of rain? Hope not. I really hope not. Some good news. Likes are almost at 100. That is good news. Thank you. New York, I'd rather Jamaica. We got my Jamaica event next month, November 16th. Well, New York is also next month. In 3 weeks, November 16th to 22nd, Throp-X 2025. So come on down. Would love to have you join. You can go to thropx.com for more information. Or if you want to purchase your tickets, you can do that. But for those who can't make it and are in the New York City, tri-state area, anywhere up there, last time we did this a couple months ago, we had somebody drive up from Virginia. If you'd like to do that, we'd love to have you. But please, you can, if you're interested, please sign up with the email in the form below. In the email, just sign up your email, your name, and that's it pretty much. And we'll add you to the list. This is fully sponsored by VM, Victoria Mutual Buildings, otherwise known as Victoria Mutual Building Society, and they are our Throp-X Platinum banking sponsor this year, and they will be your banking partner to sign you up for your checking account, your savings account, investment account, start your mortgage process, All that will be done on site at Throp-X 2025. And so really, really excited to have them. Treasure Bay Estates is our platinum real estate development sponsor, and they will have a presence at the event that I'm doing in New York on November 1st. And so really excited and happy to have them come on board as a platinum sponsor. And even though we're focused on a storm here, of course, Jamaica is extremely resilient. We will get past this one way or another, and we will continue to move forward and to build Jamaica. And this is your opportunity to be a part of that process. Is with Throp-X, whether you're in the New York event, which you can sign up below in the description, or you're coming down here to Jamaica in just a few short weeks, in about 3 weeks or so. We will be ready for you for sure. All right. Donna says the See Jamaica network of webcams are also a way to monitor what's happening in Jamaica. Keep all Jamaica and all staff and guests at Travelers in mind and in my prayers and safety. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that, Donna. Very appreciate that, Donna. All right. I think we're going to start wrapping up there. These are some more of our sponsors for Throp-X 2025, our great hotel sponsors. And I know they are also preparing crazy for this hurricane. These are all, for the most part, seasoned hoteliers. And we are all, of course, looking out for each other and are preparing accordingly as much as humanly possible. But yeah, this is going to be a long week, Definitely is going to be a long week ahead. And anybody watching this from Jamaica and that's going to be involved in this in any way, get your rest from now. Get your sleep, hydrate, eat your food, get some nutrition in you. And Saturdays, it's seeming like that's when it's really going to start. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. There's no doubt about it from all these models and indications, unless some sort of miracle happens and it pulls it away to the north, which every weather person is saying that was very, very highly unlikely. We got to prepare as if this thing is coming and this thing is going to be a direct hit. I'm paying crazy attention to the news as well. Crazy attention. King Naldo says, hi, Throp and Throppers. Once a man figured out how to control the weather, he's been playing God ever since. Weather modifications through cloud seeding and unnatural precipitation needs to stop. I've heard this before. Yeah. That's crazy. Rob P, I'm supposed to go to Montego Bay on the 6th. Should I try to cancel the 6th of November? No, now you'll be good. I'm doing an event in New York on the 1st. Who knows? I think we'll be fine. The storm would obviously be long gone by then, but who knows where Jamaica will be on the other side of this. But like I said, I'm still planning to do my event in New York, my meetup with you all in New York next Saturday on November 1st. I will be back in Jamaica before the 6th. So that my plan is to come back, I believe that Monday, if I'm not mistaken. We got Throp-X to plan here. So things got to move forward. Things got to move forward. Boomerina, are there any live stream cams? I don't know. I think Donna, you had mentioned one. Do you have a link to that? Donna, you said you mentioned live stream cam. Let me, if you do, please throw the link in the description. Saturday through Tuesday. Yeah, that's the long haul. Thank you for that, Shalia. That's when they said we're going to start feeling it. Saturday night, basically right back to Tuesday, nonstop. Going to be a shelter in place situation. So I've never experienced it that long. I've never had an experience like that of having to deal with severe storm weather conditions for days on end. So that's going to be a scary one. But like I said, we're going to be preparing accordingly and taking every reasonable precaution possible here at Travelers. Donna, good advice. Please do not endanger yourself to do cover. Please, Throp. I won't. I endangered myself a little bit last year, but we're fine. We're gonna I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I think. Charlene James, stay safe, Throp, and all my fellow Jamaicans. Thank you. Misinfo, I'm starting to move back home November 1st, and storm or no storm, not going to stop me from going back home. There you go. There you go. All right, folks. I think we're gonna cut it there. Look out for my stream tomorrow. I know that's gonna be more than likely it's gonna be in the middle, in the middle of the workday for most people, but you can watch it after work, and it's just, again, I just want to do as much coverage as possible and kind of capture where our minds are at the moment in preparation and to share it with you all live. And you can check it out. And then, Saturday's game day, and especially moving into the evening. And I'll try to bring you all as much coverage as humanly possible. And we're going to be in it very shortly. Clary T, I wish everyone safety. See you tomorrow with reports from Treasure Beach during your next live stream. Yes, I will reach out to you, Clary, and we will get together on the stream. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining. I will see you all tomorrow, and I'm not sure what time. It really depends on where prep is going. Otherwise, I'd give you a time, but I'm not sure what time it's going to be, and we'll see where my responsibilities are, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the stream tomorrow. Throp here again. As you're probably hearing, Jamaica is on an unprecedented economical tear, and I know many people are interested to learn how they might be able to buy property in Jamaica, move here, or even start a business. Enter Throp-X. This is my annual Jamaica investment conference hosted at Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. If you're even considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the best low-risk opportunity to do your due diligence and network with the very people driving the country forward. This event brings together a group of hand-picked, trusted, top-of-their-field individuals, the best developers, contractors, real estate pros, lenders, and government partners, all under one roof to help you make your move. This is very much an action-focused premium conference experience geared towards empowering you with the tools and team necessary to create your Jamaica dream. We've partnered with the Tax Administration of Jamaica to help you get your TRN and even open a bank account, all conveniently located on conference property. One of the most popular parts of the conference is the real estate tour. It's the best way to understand Jamaica's real estate market, seeing and experiencing properties firsthand so you can compare apples to apples. Another incredibly valuable part of the conference is the people you will meet. Attendees have been some of the most dynamic, inspiring individuals I have met doing incredible things with their lives. As always, this year will be fun, educational, and actionable, giving you the tools, insights, and connections to invest, build, and move to Jamaica. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list.